In an alternate history where Spiderman finds himself aboard the RMS Titanic, the unsinkable ship's tragic journey would have taken a drastically different turn. While Spider-Man's web slinging and wall crawling abilities are iconic in his fight against villains in New York, they would prove invaluable in this historical setting. Equipped with his quick reflexes, intelligence, and dedication to saving lives, Spider-Man could potentially alter the Titanic's tragic fate, transforming a historical disaster into a tale of heroism and survival. Early warning and disaster prevention. Spider-Man's spidey sense would be a major asset on the Titanic, known for giving him an instinctive warning of imminent danger. His heightened sense would likely alert him as the Titanic draws dangerously close to the iceberg on April 14th, 1912. Unlike the Titanic's crew, who received iceberg warnings yet were limited by human error and visibility issues, Spider-Man's sense would act like an internal alarm system. Moments before impact, he could rush to the ship's bridge, urging Captain Edward Smith to veer off course or reduce speed. Crew convincing the skeptical captain and crew might be challenging Spider-Man's urgency and physical proof by swinging body full costume could be enough to force the bridge officers into action. Spider-Man might also use his webbing to create a temporary drag on the ship's hull. His webbing, while not strong enough to stop a ship as magic as the Titanic, it could function like an emergency brake, helping to slow the ship's speed and reducing the force of impact with the iceberg. Even a slight decrease in speed could lessen the damage caused by the iceberg, giving the crew more time to respond to the emergency and potentially prevent the hull of the ship from being fractured. Emergency repairs and slowing the flooding. Assuming Spider-Man's intervention didn't completely prevent the collision, his actions could mitigate the damage. After the Titanic strikes the iceberg, the lower decks would rapidly begin to flood. In this scenario, Spider-Man's webbing could prove essential for patching small breaches, slowing down incoming water, or the like. While he wouldn't be able to repair every tear on the ship's hull, focusing on the most critical areas could buy precious time for evacuation. His physical strength and agility could allow him to navigate the dangerous flooded sections of the ship quickly, where few crew members could safely venture. Beyond simply patching leaks, Spider-Man's problem-solving skills and engineering knowledge could come into play. Peter Parker, after all, has experience with creating devices like his web shooters, so he might use his intellect to assist the Titanic's engineers and the crew in devising ways of delaying the flooding by constructing makeshift barriers with the available materials or employing his webs to reinforce bulkheads. Spider-Man could help slow Spider-Man could help slow the water's advance, keeping the Titanic afloat longer, coordinating evacuation and managing the crowds. One of the greatest tragedies of the Titanic's sinking was the inefficient and disorganized evacuation. Many lifeboats left the ship on the field. Due to the panic and confusion, Spider-Man's ability, strength, and web slinging would be indispensable here, enabling him to quickly move between decks and guide passengers to safety by directing people towards lifeboats and creating an orderly line. He could prevent panic from spreading and to ensure that more passengers board their boat safely. Additionally, Spider-Man's reputation as a hero could be reassured by panicked passengers. While the Titanic's crew worked valiantly, the sight of a superhero in action physically carrying children to lifeboats or rescuing people from precarious situations would give the passengers hope, inspiring them to remain calm and cooperative. Spider-Man could also use his webs to create safety nets around certain areas, potentially stopping passengers who might fall overboard or get injured in the chaos. Assisting the lifeboats and final rescue effort. Once the majority of passengers are safely in their lifeboats, Spider-Man's role wouldn't end here. His web-swinging abilities would help him tether lifeboats together, making it easier for them to stay within rescue range of one another. In freezing Atlantic waters, he could web small rafts or flotation devices, using anything that might help more people survive the icy waters if they were forced to abandon the ship. Spider-Man's physical endurance would give him a unique advantage as well, with hypothermia as a sufficient threat to those in the water. Spider-Man could work tirelessly to pull individuals from the sea using ropes or even his own webbing to tether the floating devices together and form makeshift rafts. Moreover, his presence would allow him to communicate with the Carpathia, the ship that historically arrived to rescue Titanic survivors. By web-slinging to higher points of the Titanic, he could signal distress flares to alert nearby ships to the dire situation, expanding the rescue processes. In conclusion, while Spider-Man's presence could not guarantee the complete preservation of the Titanic tragedy, his unique abilities would drastically alter the course of events. With his spidey sense, Spider-Man could potentially help the Titanic avoid the iceberg entirely, sparing the ship and its passengers from disaster. In a scenario where the collision is unavoidable, he would still buy invaluable time for the repairs and most critically ensure that the lifeboats are used efficiently to save as many lives as possible. Through these actions, Spider-Man's hypothetical presence on the Titanic paints a picture of how even one individual endowed in extraordinary abilities and commitment to helping others could change the course of history. By applying his quick thinking, physical strength, and heroic resolve, Spider-Man could have brought a different fate for the unsinkable ship, reminding us that true heroism lies not in invincibility, but in the tireless pursuit of saving life against all odds. Thank you for watching.